What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday to you. This is break number 951 BD. It is a half case, 6-box break of Panini Prizm Baseball. 6 boxes. Here's box number 1. Alright. This is 6 boxes in the break. Should have 3 autos per box on average. Hopefully we can find a color blast. We didn't have one in the first 6 boxes. We did have a groovy in the first 6 boxes, but maybe a color blast in that second 6. Good luck, everybody. Box number 1. Ready to rip. Let's go. Got some red there to start us off. Here we go. Pulsar, that's Alex Gordon. That is 461 at 499. Paul O'Neill on the red wave. Dingers of James Tibbs. Purple, Ken Griffey Jr. 23 out of 149. Kalen Culpepper for the Twins on the Silver Prizm, Talisman of Travis Bazana. First auto goes to the St. Louis Cardinals, and that is legend Yadier Molina. Yadier Molina on the auto. Silver Prizm auto. Not numbered. We got Ryan Clifford red. That's to 299. 199 out of 111 out of 299 for the Mets. 111 out of 299. Connor Norby on the red wave. Connor Griffin Prismatic. We got Matt Wieters for Baltimore, 428 out of 499. Aaron Escobar on the Silver Prizm. Chase Dollander on the Fireworks. Checkerboard of Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan, 97 out of 99. And our next auto goes to the San Diego Padres. That is Cash Mayfield. Sensational signature, not numbered, for the Pods. Dingers of Jim Thome. Going to Cleveland. Blue, Hagen Smith for the White Sox. 141 out of 199. Tony Perez, Silver Prizm. Talisman of Roman Anthony. We got orange. That's Rod Carew on the Pulsar. 45 out of 499. And our orange is Earl Combs for the Yankees. Earl Combs on the orange, 32 out of 49. 32 out of 49. Prismatic of Cam Smith for Houston. Red, Bert Campaneris for the Oakland A's. 190 out of 299. Vlad Guerrero Sr. That's on the silver prism. Dingers of Ethan Holiday. Dylan Cruz Pulsar. That is 368 out of 499. Josue De Paula for the Dodgers on the red wave. That is Slade Caldwell for the Diamondbacks. That is blue. Blue to 99. That is numbered 99 of 99. 99 of 99. Slade Caldwell for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Purple, Nick Kurtz. There's your Rookie of the Year in the American League. Nick Kurtz, 104 out of 149. What's up, Chad? James Triantos on the silver prism. Prismatic of Jesus Made. Tommy Troy. Tommy Troy on the red. That is 25 of 299. And our last auto of this box, that is a sensational signatures. Chicago White Cubs. Oh, man. Jackson Wiggins. Jackson Wiggins on the auto for the Cubs. Dude, my day has been awesome, my friend. Awesome. Fireworks of James Tibbs. Pulsar of Marcelo Mayer. 449 out of 499. Dalton Rushing on the silver prism. Dylan Cruz on the dingers. How about yourself, my friend? How's your day? Never can complain when I can look at cards. There you go. Did you get in the break? Box number 2. No, not this one. Did you see they got an NT break coming? Oh, yeah. Please don't tell me you're trying for Tampa Bay. I'm kidding. Gotta go for Baltimore, right? If I had to go one team in that kind of break in NT, I mean, I gotta spend the money on the Yankees, man. They always seem to show up, at least one or two cards. Mets show up a lot. Cubs show up. So there's always one team that shows up big in National Treasures. You know? It's always one team. I mean, if you find 2 Orioles, you're going to find a third card of the Orioles. If you find 2 A's, you're going to find a third one. It's like always one big team. So, all right, box number 2, my friends. Here we go. We got a green scope of, there's Tony Olivia for the Minnesota Twinkies. 27 out of 75. That's Junior Caminero on the red wave. Talisman of Leo DeVries. Blue, Bryce Rainier, young prospect for the Detroit Tigers, 79 out of 199. Bubba Chandler Silver. Seaver King Prismatic. First auto. Second auto for the Padres. This one is Ethan Salas. Ethan Salas Silver Prism auto. Nice hit for the Padres right there. Padres are off to a pretty good start. Matt Shaw. That is a Pulsar Matt Shaw, numbered 59 out of 499. Albert Pujols on the red wave. Fireworks of Chase Burns. Red, that's Starlin Cava for Miami, 216 out of 299. Yohandry Morales for Washington, silver. Marcelo Mayer on the dingers. There's a Prismatrix auto. Prismatrix auto behind John Smoltz. Ethan Salas, talisman. Checkerboard, David Ortiz. 30 out of 99. Andy Pettit, silver. Caminetti on the fireworks. Let's see what our Prismatrix auto is. Good luck, everybody. These are such nice cards, the Prismatrix. Alright, Prismatrix. John Smoltz, 182 out of 499. That is for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and that is Drew Jones. Drew Jones on the Prismatrix auto, 81 out of 99. 81 of 99. Nice hit for the Diamondbacks. Very nice hit for the Diamondbacks. Ooh, we got a Cherry Blossom. We got Johnny Mize Blue. That is 106 out of 199. And our Cherry Blossom is, again for the Diamondbacks, Yu-Min Lin. Yu-Min Lin. That is 2 out of 20 for the D-backs. Yeah, no kidding, right? It's some Diamondback love. We got a talisman of Jacob Wilson. Yogi Berra. That is on the Pulsar, 494 out of 499. Kobe Mayo, Silver Prism. Christian Campbell, Prismatic. We got purple, Homer Bush. Homer Bush, 130 out of 149. Jadixon Paez on the red wave. That is a red firework of Tommy White. Nice hit for the A's. That is 146 out of 199. 146 out of 199. 199. Are you out of your mind? Let's go. Don't tell me y'all out there don't remember that commercial. Bryce Matthews, that is 129 out of 299. Hank Greenberg on the Silver Prism. Fireworks of Cam Smith. Tom Glavine. Our next auto is behind Tom Glavine. Dingers, that is Vance Honeycutt. Our next auto is a Pulsar auto behind Tom Glavine right there. We have some orange. Got Jace Jung on the Talisman. Orange of Larry Walker. Larry Walker. For this one's going to St. Louis, not Colorado. Heston Kjerstad on the Silver Prism. Larry Walker orange is numbered 17 out of 49. 17 out of 49. And our auto, Tom Glavine, 56 out of 499. Our auto, Pulsar. How about Victor Hurtado on the Pulsar auto for the Washington Nationals? That's a nice one. 173 out of 199. Nice prospect right here, Victor Hurtado. Box number 3. All right, box number 3. Box number 3. That is Mac Horvath for Tampa Bay. 100 out of 149. David Ortiz, Red Wave. Dingers of Marcelo Mayer. Roger Clemens going to Toronto. 256 out of 299. Mike Schmidt, Silver Prism. Ethan Salas on the Talisman. Bryce Matthews on the Pulsar. That is 454 out of 499. Carter Johnson on the Red Wave. Connor Griffin on the Prismatic. This Prismatic is to 199 red. That is numbered, there it is, 74 out of 199. 74 of 199. Green Scope. That's Slade Caldwell for the Diamondbacks. 37 out of 75. Paul O'Neill Silver. Cam Caminiti on the Fireworks. Franklin Arias. Red. Franklin Arias, red for the Red Sox, 171 out of 299. Our next auto goes to the Toronto Blue Jays. Got a talisman of Jacob Wilson. That is Will Wagner for the Blue Jays on the sensational signature, not numbered. Pulsar, Ricky Tiedemann for Toronto. 169 out of 499. Nolan Ryan for the Mets on the Silver Prism. Christian Campbell on the Prismatic. That's Emilian Petrie for Tampa Bay. Emilian Petrie, 140 out of 199. Our next auto is going to the White Sox. Pulsar auto of Chase Meadroth. Chase Meadroth. That is 148 out of 199 for the White Sox. Prismatic of Seaver King. Pulsar, Ken Griffey Jr. 24 out of 499. Chase Burns on the Fireworks. Ryan Johnson for the Angels. 120 out of 299. Alex Gordon for Kansas City. Fireworks of James Tibbs. Got another Cherry Blossom. We got Ryan Johnson. It's 179 out of 499. Al Kaline for Detroit. Nice one, 11 out of 20. Prismatic of Jesus Made. Ricky Tiedemann on the blue. 155 out of 199. Nick Kurtz on the Silver Prism.
Is it quick? So bad.
Nick Kurtz Silver Prism for your Rookie of the Year. Nice card. Ethan Holiday for the non-MLB spot on the Dingers. Kellen Lindsey, that is 324 out of 499. Our last auto of the break of this box, Josh Noth. That is Josh Noth on the Pulsar auto. That one is numbered 132 out of 199 for Milwaukee. Cam Smith Prismatic. All right, we're at our halfway point. Box number 4. box number 4. Yes, he has Mariners signatures and he has Reds redemptions. He is under both teams, yes. Because I've pulled both. Alright, here we go. Box number 4. That's Dante Nori. Dante Nori, 41 of 299. Cooper Pratt on for Milwaukee Red Wave. Talisman of Bubba Chandler. Nick York, 156 out of 499. Ryan Waldschmidt, silver. Deion Sanders, prismatic. Green scope of Gerangelo Cinchte. 69 of 75 for Seattle. David Shields, silver. Connor Griffin, prismatic. Yeah, I pulled a redemption one time, and I looked at the checklist, Chad, and I had to apologize to Seattle because I was like, well, we got to check the checklist because he has multiple teams, and it came up for the Reds because the guy in the chat for Seattle was like all excited, and I'm like, I'm sorry, this one is going to the Reds. It was like, wow. Of course, the guy understood, but it was like still the fact that, you know, you're thinking you got this nice card. And Luis Baez on the Pulsar. That is number 241 out of 499. And we have a Colt Keith for Detroit on the Pulsar Auto. Pulsar Auto. Colt Keith for Detroit. This one is numbered 105 out of 199. Talisman, there's Bazana. Tiedemann on the red. 161 out of 299. Grover Alexander for the Cubbies on the red wave. Chase Dollander on the fireworks. Drew Beam, Kansas City, 216 out of 499. Johnny Farmello, silver. Jim Tomey on the dingers. That almost didn't come out right. Dylan Dreeling for Texas. There's 132 out of 299. Zach Veen for Colorado. Ethan Holiday on the dingers for the non-MLB. We got Burt Campaneris on the Pulsar. We got Jace Jung on the prismatic. That's a Pulsar 248 out of 499. We have a blue auto coming up behind Burt Campaneris to 49. Blue auto coming. We got Yoandry Morales to 499, 219 out of 499. Jared Thomas red wave. Jesus Made prismatic. Alright, our blue auto to 49. Blue auto to 49. This could be a legend. It is not. It is a really good prospect for the Mets. Colin Hawk. Colin Hawk for the Mets. Prospect auto to 49. That is numbered 44 out of 49. Nice hit for the New York Metropolitans. last auto goes to the Dodgers. Hae-Sung Kim. Hae-Sung Kim, rookie auto, Pulsar for the Los Angeles Dodgers. 198 out of 199. 198 out of 199. Willie Stargell, Pulsar. 125 of 499. Ryan Johnson on the Red Wave. Tommy White on the Fireworks. Purple, Whitey Ford. Purple, Whitey Ford, 134 out of 149 for the Yankees. Jack Morris, Red Wave. That's a talisman of Colson Montgomery Blue. Blue talisman, 1 out of 99. 1 out of 99, first off the press. Or first off the print. I'm old. We used printing presses. There's Hagen Smith for the White Sox, 282 out of 299. Dontrell Willis, Silver Prism. Talisman, Roman Anthony. Box number 5. Box number 5. All right, box number 5. Here we go. Purple, Juan Valera. That's for the Red Sox, 42 out of 149. Paul Konerko for the Dodgers. Prismatic of Aiden Miller. Aiden Miller for the Phillies. Pulsar, Charlie Condon for Colorado. 4 out of 499. Aiden Miller again for the Phillies. Dingers of Jace Lavalette. Jace Lavalette. Dingers goes to the non-MLB NIL spot. That is Leo DeVries, blue, 115 out of 199. Manny Ramirez, silver. Christian Moore on the prismatic. Checkerboard. That is Boston Bateman on the checkerboard. Talisman of Dylan Cruz. Our auto behind Boston Bateman, 71 of 99, goes to the Kansas City Royals. Carson Roccaforte. Sensational signature. It's not numbered. There's Prince Fielder for Milwaukee. 187 out of 499. Tony La Russa, silver. Dingers of Cam Smith. We got Johnny Mize on the red. Johnny Mize, that is 11 out of 299. Bobby Richardson, red wave. Paul Skeens on the blue talisman. Very nice blue talisman hit. Paul Skeens for the Pirates. That is number 28 out of 99. 28 of 99 on the talisman. Got some orange. Got some orange. And it is Jasur Gonzalez. I know he doesn't have his colored uniform on, but that is a color match for the Orange Giants. San Francisco Giants, orange, Jasur Gonzalez. 14 out of 49 on the color match. Joe Jackson for the White Sox. We got dingers of Rentaro Sasaki for the non-MLB spot. Another cherry blossom. We got Bud Selig. Bud Selig going to the non-MLB spot. 214 out of 499. That is Tom Seaver on the cherry blossom for the New York Mets. 5 out of 20. Nice hit for the Mets. Christian Moore fireworks. Brady Montgomery, that's for the White Sox, 297 out of 299. Ian Kinsler for the Texas Rangers. Travis Bazzana, prismatic. We got a scope and we got a red auto. Scope, green, Carson Benj. Red auto. Our red auto goes to Dante Nori of the Philadelphia Phillies. That is numbered 23 out of 99. Now you need to slow down. Carson Bench, 6 out of 75. Here you go. That is Josh Gibson going to the non-MLB spot. That is a 12 out of 499. Junior Caminero on the silver prism. Dingers of Vlad Guerrero. Last pack of box number 5. I think we have one more auto, don't we? Can't remember. Yes, we do. Right there. All right, we got Carson Benj. Carson Benj for the Mets, 134 out of 299. Andrew Walters on the red wave. Firework of Tommy White. And our last auto. Again, this could be a Legends auto. From the color, it could be Bobby Witt Jr. It is Bobby Witt Jr. on the auto. Kansas City, nice hit. Prism auto of Bobby Witt Jr. Not numbered. Nice hit. Box number 6. You're picking him for MVP? Dude, I wouldn't be surprised. It would not surprise me one bit. As a Yankee fan and an Aaron Judge fan, I think he came in 3rd this year, but would not surprise me. All right, here we go, guys. Last box. Good luck. We got Jake Arrieta. That is 66 of 499. Jake Peavy, Roman Anthony. Our first auto is here. It's a Pulsar auto. Pulsar auto. Talisman of Hagen Smith. That's Bryce Cunningham for the Yankees. 62 out of 199. And our auto for Seattle is Josh Hood. Josh Hood, Pulsar auto. That is 33 out of 199. 33 out of 199. Checkerboard, Carter Holton for the Atlanta Braves, 37 of 99. Tom Glavine, silver. Jackson Chourio, dingers. Lou Gehrig, Pulsar, 238 out of 499. Nolan Ryan on the red wave. Talisman of Dylan Cruz on the color match for Washington. Dylan Cruz, 164 out of 199 on the Talisman color match for the Washington Nationals. Nice hit. Very nice hit. So you think Nick Kurtz can repeat what he did this year? Andrew Walters for Cleveland, 223 out of 299. Whitey Ford for the Yankees. Spencer Jones for the Yankees. True. True, true, true. We got black. We got black, guys. I'm going to hold off on that pack. We're going to save that pack for last. Hell yeah. Got some black, baby. We got Christy Mathewson for the Giants. 162 out of 199. Braxton Ashcroft, silver. Dingers of Albert Pujols. Yeah. I've pulled his auto a couple of times, so I know he's not over 100, which is sad but it's not numbered either. So if it was numbered, I think it'd be a little bit more. Carter Jensen. That is 63 out of 499. And our next auto, Harry Ford, because Jesus loves you. On the sensational signature for Seattle. He must not have had room to write that on there. No, not bad at all. Absolutely not. His auto will blow up when he does win MVP. There's Mariano Rivera. 146 out of 299. Brady Ebel to the non-MLB spot. James Wood on the fireworks. But it doesn't help Bobby Witt Jr. that he does sign a bunch. So it doesn't help that, you know? Next auto. That is Buster Posey on the legendary auto for the Giants. Legendary auto for the Giants. Buster Posey, Silver Prism. Very nice hit for the Giants. Mason Wynn, purple. There's 134 out of 149. Barry Larkin on the red wave. Jack Leiter. Dude, I am excited for this black. Can't remember. Is black to 5 or to 10? It could be black gold. I mean, but it's definitely black. Grady Sizemore for Cleveland. 361 out of 499. Albert Pujols, Roman Anthony. Last pack. Then we'll do our pack with our black in it. Red. Zach Veen for Colorado, 150 out of 299. Yachty. Red Wave. Ryan Waldschmidt. Well, we didn't get a color blast out of this one, but we did get some cherry blossoms, 3 of them, 2 oranges, plus a black that is incoming. Black that is incoming. Last pack, here we go. That is Hagen Smith on the prismatic. Prince Fielder. That is 237 out of 499. This is a black gold. I believe that's to 5. And that is a nice one too. Chase DeLauder, Cleveland Guardians, 2 out of 5. Black gold, Chase DeLauder. That is a sick hit for the Cleveland Guardians. And that's your break, my friends. Nice. Yes, the Black Finite is out of 5. Or Black Finite is 1 of 1. Yeah. All right. Recap time. All right, guys. I'm not going to of the to $4.99 and to $2.99, and then we'll recap after that. So I'm just going to run through these. Here we go. These are the $2.99. All right, to $1.99. Here we go. Christy Mathewson, Dylan Cruz Talisman, Bryce Cunningham, Leo DeVries, Ricky Tiedemann, Emilian Petrie, Connor Griffin Prismatic, Fireworks of Tommy White, Johnny Mize, Bryce Rainier, and Hagen Smith. To $149. Purple, Mason Wynn, Juan Valera, Whitey Ford, Matt Horvath, Homer Bush, Nick Kurtz, and Ken Griffey Jr. I'm just going to throw it in there. That's a Nick Kurtz Silver Prism. Nice hit for the A's. All right. Checkerboard. We got Carter Holton, Talisman of Paul Skeens. These are all to $99. Boston Bateman, Talisman Colson Montgomery, David Ortiz. Firework of Slade Caldwell and Nolan Ryan. We got Carson Bench to 75 with Gerangelo Cinchte, Slade Caldwell, Tony Olivia. To 49, Josur Gonzalez, Larry Walker, Earl Combs. To 20 on the Cherry Blossoms, Tom Seaver, Al Kaline, and Yu Min Lin. Our autos. We got Harry Ford. These are not numbered. Carson Roccaforte, Will Wagner, Jackson Wiggins, Cash Mayfield. We have Ethan Salas, Silver Prism, not numbered. Yadi Molina on the Legendary Signature, not numbered. And Buster Posey on the Silver Prism, Legendary Signature, not numbered. To $199, we got Josh Hood, Hoi-Sung Kim, Colt Keith, Josh Knopf, Chase Meadroth, and Victor Hurtado. To $99, Dante Nori. And on the Prismatrix auto, Drew Jones. To $49, Colin Hawk on the color match for the New York Mets. We did hit a black gold to 5, Chase DeLauder, 2 out of 5. And our auto of the break, I would call that our auto of the break. That is Bobby Witt Jr., Silver Prism auto, not numbered, but that is a sick hit for Kansas City. And there, my friends, is your break. You guys have a great afternoon. I will be back with you guys doing some more of this in a little bit here. But hope to see you guys again. Have a happy holidays if I don't. Have a great night. Peace!